Chosen one, hear this with urgency. The waiting season has officially ended. Heaven has leaned in your direction, and the decree has already been stamped. You are no longer standing in the hallway between hope and fulfillment. Something has shifted in the unseen, and whether you feel it yet or not, the spiritual gates that once restrained you have been shattered. God has not only heard your prayers, He is sending more than what you asked for, more than what you imagined, more than your previous faith level could hold. This is not a suggestion, it is a divine announcement. You were not forgotten, overlooked, or bypassed. You are being prepared, refined, constructed from the inside out for a blessing so weighty it required heavenly timing. What once seemed silent was actually a season of sacred planning. God has declared, enough waiting, and when heaven declares a thing, the natural realm must bow. You weren't praying for too much. In fact, you were praying too small. God is about to exceed your petitions and transcend your expectations. This is your moment of divine surplus, where answers will appear without struggle and resources will multiply without striving. Brace yourself. The era of lack has expired, and the era of overflow has begun. What you are stepping into now is not simply another chapter, another season, or another phase of your journey. It is a new spiritual dimension entirely. The old pace of life, with its slow unfolding and constant waiting, is dissolving behind you. In its place emerges acceleration, divine velocity, movement ordained by God. Where your progress once trickled, now it will pour. What was stagnant will now flow with ease. You are crossing a threshold where spiritual laws operate differently. Time compresses, opportunities chase you, favor multiplies, and divine momentum takes over. This dimension requires a different posture. You cannot walk like the old you, think like the old you, or doubt like the old you. The atmosphere you're stepping into is charged with purpose and precision. The spiritual fog that once blurred your vision is lifting, revealing pathways that were invisible before. This isn't improvement, this is transformation. You have graduated from the wilderness classroom and entered the realm where God accelerates everything connected to your destiny. Expect sudden movement, unexpected clarity, and breakthroughs that bypass natural explanations. You have entered divine territory where the impossible becomes your new normal. In this new dimension, the evidence of God's presence in your life will not remain hidden or quiet. It will become loud, visible, undeniable. People around you, even those who never paid attention before, will begin noticing the unusual blessings unfolding in your favor. They will see doors open for you effortlessly, opportunities aligning without your pursuit, and divine advantages that make no logical sense. What once was private endurance is about to become public elevation. God is intentionally making your life a display of His glory. Expect favor that stuns people. Expect testimonies that stop conversations. Expect blessings that draw attention not to your ability, but to God's intervention. Your story will become a walking billboard of divine involvement. Strangers will notice the shift. Friends will observe the glow. Critics will be silenced as the fingerprints of heaven become unmistakable on your journey. This is the season where what God has been doing quietly will now speak loudly. Your life will carry the visible markings of divine orchestration, and no one will be able to deny it. Chosen one, you are invited to participate with heaven in this moment. Write down your deepest intentions, desires, visions, and prayers, and seal them with 99. This number symbolizes divine fullness, completion, and spiritual fulfillment. It is not superstition, it is a prophetic activation. When you write 99, you are declaring, "Let it be established. Let it be completed. Let heaven perfect what concerns me." This act of engagement is your way of aligning your will with God's decree. It pulls the invisible into manifestation, confirming your readiness to receive overflow. Writing your intentions is not passive, it's a covenant with your future. It says, "I agree with heaven's timing. I agree with heaven's abundance." This prophetic act shifts your posture from desire into expectation. Heaven responds to faith in action, and writing 99 is your declaration that you're stepping into the fullness God has prepared. Just as prophets in Scripture performed symbolic acts to release spiritual realities, your engagement becomes the key that unlocks acceleration. Step boldly into this partnership with God. Your obedience will open the floodgates of divine surplus. The era of scarcity, where blessings were occasional and breakthroughs were rare, has been replaced with continual flow. You are entering days where blessings will not trickle in, but appear in waves, one after another, with divine rhythm. Random events will reveal themselves as intentional orchestrations from God. Things you brushed off as coincidences will suddenly make sense in the bigger picture. Unexpected help will show up exactly when you need it, aligning perfectly with your steps. This surplus is not random, it's strategic. God is replacing the mentality of barely enough with more than enough. Expect resources to stretch further, opportunities to multiply, and solutions to arrive before problems escalate. Scarcity trained you to value blessings, but surplus will teach you to steward abundance. This is an era where everything begins to overflow. Finances, clarity, wisdom, creativity, influence, and peace. No longer will you live from crisis to crisis. You will live from glory to glory. Surplus isn't coming. It's here. Every storm, every setback, every delay, every tear had a purpose: refinement. You were not being punished, you were being prepared. The battles that seemed senseless were sharpening your discernment. The seasons of waiting were stretching your endurance. The pain you survived wasn't wasted. It was shaping you into someone who can carry overflow with maturity and wisdom. Without those refining experiences, you wouldn't have the character required for elevation. God was strengthening your emotional stability, broadening your spiritual insight, and deepening your resilience. This preparation is why the blessing won't break you. The old you might have mishandled abundance. The refined you can steward it. You have been trained to handle weight, the weight of influence, responsibility, prosperity, and purpose. Every hardship built spiritual muscle. Every disappointment strengthened your foundation. You are prepared, not by comfort, but by fire. And now, because you endured the refining, you are ready for the release. As God lifts you, not everyone will understand what's happening, and that's intentional. Some will assume your rise is luck. Others will be confused by how fast everything shifts in your favor. People may even dismiss your breakthroughs as coincidence, but none of this diminishes the truth. Your elevation is divine engineering, not human explanation. God is choosing to elevate you in a way that surpasses comprehension. Those who didn't witness your tears will not understand your triumph. Those who never saw your private battles will misinterpret your sudden visibility. Do not waste energy explaining your transformation. When God authorizes your elevation, no one else's understanding is required. Let them watch, wonder, doubt, or distance themselves. Your rise is not their approval-based event. You are stepping into a divine timeline that leaves human logic behind. Remember, those who can't comprehend your blessing were never assigned to your calling. Overflow isn't random, it has purpose. God is releasing abundance because you are ready for your next assignment. Surplus elevates you into new realms of influence, where you can reach those connected to your calling. It positions you as a resource, a light, a solution in environments that need your gift. The overflow confirms your readiness to handle responsibility of greater magnitude. It is not simply a reward, it is equipment. Surplus gives you the stability to fulfill your purpose without being hindered by lack or fear. It places you in rooms you were created to speak into. It aligns your life with those who need what you carry. God is entrusting you with more because your assignment requires more. You are stepping into a role designed to shift the lives of others. The surplus is not just for you, it is for those God plans to bless through you. To walk in overflow, you must be mentally and spiritually prepared. Elevation demands faith for the unfamiliar. You cannot default to old mindsets in a new dimension. Fear must be replaced with trust. Doubt must be replaced with confidence. You will need wisdom to manage increase, clarity to navigate sudden opportunities, and gratitude to protect your heart from entitlement. This season requires a spiritual posture of openness and expectation. You must be ready to receive without self-sabotage. Sometimes blessing feels foreign because we are accustomed to struggle. Don't allow the unfamiliarity of abundance to make you shrink. Expand your faith. Strengthen your spiritual discernment. Guard your thoughts. Overflow requires a renewed mind that welcomes increase without guilt or resistance. You are called to steward greatness. Think boldly, act wisely, and receive gratefully. God has been speaking to you in the small things, the delays that protected you, the nudges that redirected you, the subtle signs that reminded you of His presence. In ordinary moments, extraordinary messages were hidden. That job rejection preserved you from burnout. That cancelled plan shielded you from harm. That unexpected feeling to pause kept you from stepping into danger. Heaven has been guiding every detail of your path. Nothing was random. God has been whispering through the mundane, through timing, intuition, conversations, and even obstacles. As you enter overflow, your discernment will heighten. You will begin noticing divine messages woven into everyday experiences. God has been in the details all along. Now, you will see Him everywhere. If you are called to overflow, and you are, then expect acceleration. Expect doors to open that save you time. Expect favor that appears before you ask. Expect divine redirection that keeps you on the right path. Expect protection that blocks unseen dangers. God is not elevating you without equipping you. You are called to a life where supernatural alignment becomes normal. Know this: favor will make things move quickly. Protection will make things move safely. The blessing of overflow comes with the expectation to stay spiritually alert, flexible, obedient, and ready for rapid shifting. You will move at a pace that doesn't make sense to others, but it will make perfect sense to heaven. The way to defeat fear is not by trying to be brave, it is by remembering who delivered you before. Revelation destroys anxiety. When you recall past victories, present doubts lose their power. Fear fades when you become aware of God's hand guiding you. Discernment replaces panic. Confidence replaces hesitation. Revelation reminds you that the God who sustained you in lack will sustain you in overflow. Fear, once your quiet companion, will dissolve as you step into awareness of divine presence. God is not leading you into the unknown. He is leading you into fulfillment. Your revelation of His faithfulness becomes the antidote to every anxious thought. Walk boldly. You are protected, guided, strengthened, and chosen. As you rise, influence will expand around you without force, manipulation, or striving. People will sense something different on you, an authority that comes from spiritual refinement. Your words will carry weight, your presence will shift atmospheres, and your actions will inspire transformation in others. This influence is not about fame, it's about assignment. God is positioning you as a carrier of revelation, healing, wisdom, and breakthrough. You will find people drawn to your guidance without knowing why. Your voice will echo in rooms you once feared entering. Influence will flow through you effortlessly because it comes from God, not human approval. Embrace this expansion. It is part of your calling. Overflow requires stewardship. Increase is not simply a blessing, it is responsibility. You must handle resources with maturity, relationships with discernment, and influence with humility. Platforms are not given for ego, but for impact. Surplus must be managed with clarity and care. You are being entrusted with more than enough so that you can build, uplift, and restore. Stewarding overflow means watching your connections, managing your time, strengthening your spiritual foundation, and honoring your purpose without distraction. God gives abundance only to those who can steward it well, and He has chosen you because you are ready. Interruptions are not always inconveniences. Sometimes they are divine interventions. Closed doors protect you from future loss. Delays set you up for better outcomes. Sudden changes reroute you away from harm. The disruptions you once resented were actually evidence of God's protection. As you enter overflow, continue trusting divine redirection. When something stops, shifts, or closes, it is not rejection. It is strategic shielding. God sees what you cannot. He is safeguarding your destiny by guiding your steps with precision. What feels like a detour is often deliverance. Trust the disruptions. They protect your purpose. In the era of divine surplus, miracles will become more frequent and more visible. Financial breakthroughs will appear unexpectedly. Favor will rescue you from traps you didn't know existed. Elevation will happen suddenly, confirming that heaven's timing is perfect. Miracles will not be quiet, they will be bold. You will witness impossible situations turn effortlessly. Hidden solutions will emerge. Unexpected promotions, approvals, and opportunities will arrive without struggle. These miracles are not random events, but signs that God is publicly validating your faith. This is the season where what once required intense prayer now requires simple obedience. Elevation exposes the hearts of others. As God blesses you, some people may question your authenticity, doubt your rise, or distance themselves. Jealousy may surface. Insecurity may shift relationships. But do not fear this. What God releases over your life cannot be undone by human emotion. Opposition is not a sign of failure. It is proof of movement. The higher you rise, the more spiritual clarity you'll need to navigate people. Remember, your blessing is not dependent on their support, belief, or applause. God's decision is final. No jealousy, doubt, or resistance can interfere with what heaven has ordained. Overflow will require you to walk without knowing every step. Logic cannot explain the scale of what God is doing. Faith must guide you through unfamiliar territory. You will not have all the details, but you will have peace. And peace is evidence of divine orchestration. Trust the unseen. Trust the timing. Trust the guidance that nudges you even when it doesn't fully make sense. Faith is your compass in this dimension of blessing. You don't need clarity of the whole map. You just need trust in the one directing your path. What God is doing is bigger than your understanding. Prepare for speed. What once took years will unfold in days. What once felt distant will move close. Destiny will accelerate with breathtaking momentum. You will witness long-held prayers manifest rapidly, back-to-back breakthroughs aligning without delay. The slow season is over. God is redeeming time, restoring lost years, and propelling you forward with divine velocity. Do not be surprised when everything shifts quickly. You have waited long enough. This rapid unfolding is heaven's way of bringing you into alignment with the fullness of your calling. Overflow requires space. Old patterns, relationships, habits, and environments cannot follow you into your next dimension. Emotional clutter must be removed. Spiritual baggage must be released. God is clearing your path by removing what cannot sustain the weight of your purpose. Let go willingly. Release with gratitude. What leaves now is making room for aligned blessings. You cannot carry overflow while holding remnants of scarcity. This release is not loss, it is preparation. In this season, seemingly random encounters will carry spiritual assignments. Ordinary conversations will contain destiny keys. Routine moments will hide divine markers. Pay attention. God is placing coded messages throughout your everyday life. A stranger's comment may confirm your next step. A sudden idea may unlock your next chapter. A repeated symbol or number may signal divine timing. You are being guided through subtle, sacred cues. Look closely. Destiny is speaking. Every setback you endured was actually set up for the season you are entering. Pain trained your character. Loss purified your motives. Disappointment redirected your path. What felt like destruction was actually divine construction. You are being positioned for restoration beyond what you lost. The setbacks that once broke you are now the very tools God used to shape you. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparation. In the era of divine surplus, resources flow before you need them. Solutions appear before problems grow. Support arrives without you seeking it. Heaven is supplying more than enough. Not barely enough, not just enough, but abundant overflow. Expect provision from unlikely places, favor from unexpected people, and answers that come without striving. God is showing you that dependence on Him leads to abundance, not scarcity. You are stepping into a supply chain that never empties. Elevation is not a reward, it is stewardship. Overflow requires discipline, wisdom, humility, and spiritual awareness. You must manage influence with integrity, resources with clarity, and opportunities with responsibility. As God expands you, He expects you to operate with excellence. Blessings will grow as you prove faithful. Remember, the higher you rise, the more important your character becomes. Elevation is both privilege and responsibility, and you are ready for both. The blessing God is releasing is not limited to your life. It will spread to everything and everyone connected to you. Family will experience breakthrough. Friends will receive unexpected blessings. Environments will shift simply because you are present. You are becoming a carrier of supernatural change. Overflow will ripple outward, impacting generations. This is generational elevation, not personal elevation. The surplus assigned to you is designed to spill over. Your rise will evoke mixed reactions. Some will celebrate sincerely, some will quietly admire, some will misunderstand, others may envy, but all will be impacted. Your testimony will become a silent sermon. Even those who do not acknowledge your growth will be transformed by witnessing it. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Continue rising, continue shining, continue walking in divine surplus. Your elevation is part of heaven's plan. In this dimension, your words carry creative power. Your declarations shape your reality. Speaking fear invites delay. Speaking boldness invites acceleration. Your voice is a spiritual instrument. Use it wisely. Speak life. Speak abundance. Speak alignment. Speak favor. God has placed authority in your mouth, and what you proclaim will manifest quickly in this season. Guard your tongue. It is a steering wheel for overflow. One breakthrough will trigger another. A single miracle will open the door for multiple blessings. Expect chain reactions of favor where everything aligns at once. Your testimony will grow layer upon layer, miracle upon miracle. Expansion will touch every area of your life. Finances, relationships, creativity, opportunities, influence, spiritual depth. The momentum of heaven is behind you. This is not a single blessing. It is a cascade. This overflow is not temporary. It is not seasonal. It is not a moment. It is a lifestyle shift. Divine surplus becomes your new identity. Breakthrough becomes your new pattern. Consistency replaces instability. Confidence replaces doubt. Authority replaces hesitation. You are entering a permanent dimension of abundance, where the blessings do not evaporate, but multiply. You will not go backward. You will not lose what God gives. This surplus is here to stay. Chosen one, prepare yourself. Days filled with divine movement are unfolding now. Walk with expectancy, not hesitation. Move with confidence, not fear. Heaven has turned in your direction and declared more than you asked, faster than you imagined, greater than you believed. You have entered the era of divine surplus. Stand tall, stay ready, remain receptive. What God is releasing is bigger than your past, larger than your prayers, and perfectly timed for your destiny. This is your moment. This is your elevation. This is your overflow.